Hello farmers and welcome back to Pallegney on Farming Simulator 25. So today, as I'm recording this, there was an update to the map. And in reading the patch notes, I saw some interesting things there that I said I would like to try that kind of stuff. The patch notes didn't say that it needs a new save to continue, so I went ahead and updated the map. I would kind of recommend, if you've gotten a lot of hours into it, you may want to hold off on updating the map if you haven't done so already. A couple things that are going to appear. My trees are back here in our small grass field. Not that big of a deal. So I think with the lumberjack mod, I can just go ahead and eliminate those. So let me get ahead and doing that. Actually, probably got to do that. There we go. Just going to eliminate these trees. So I was kind of shocked to see those. And there's a couple things in the patch notes, like teleporting to the logging cranes. It said it would stop doing that. It still does it for me. So I think a new save is going to be required for some of the things in the patch notes to actually occur. Which I thought so. When reading the patch notes, I thought, wouldn't that need a new save file for that to happen? And I was like, well, you know, modders usually can find ways around things. So, you know, what do I know? But yeah, I think a new save, I would recommend a new save if you can do so. If not, just be prepared if you do update the map. Any trees you have taken down, those will probably reappear. So just be aware. I went around the rest of our fields and everything seems to be somewhat where it was. There are 2 new crops. And I've done the crops before, not in 25. But there's a cover crop, which, you know, it's a different type of cover crop. It's not oilseed radish. It's just oilseed. It's just plain old cover crop. There's also alfalfa, which I did on Goldcrest Valley in 22, and I think I did it on Hinterland as well. And there is mustard as a new crop also. Now, mustard, I guess you can jar mustard at the starting farm. But I don't have the starting farm, so I won't be able to do really anything with the mustard at all. So, I don't know. Will I do those type of crops? I'm not sure. But anyways, what I need to get back doing, because I was trying to get most of it done before I brought you along, is I am fertilizing the small grass field. Because, you know, grass does need to be taken care of still. And, yeah, then it needs to move on to the next grass field. But I still got my silage bales, which are all wrapped. We need to pick those up and put them into our storage shed now. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, in case you forgot, there is a tornado on the way. I think somewhere around noon, so not too far from now. The twisters shall be here, but this field is now double fertilized. So we'll get this ready to go over and start fertilizing the other grass field. But I gotta pick up those silage bales first and put those away. How far we get today? Well, that all depends on what comes up for contracts and for jobs. We may get as far as actually harvesting our sorghum that we got planted. All depends on what comes up for sale, what comes up in the store. Yeah, so see, I can still tab to these in the patch notes. It says that would stop that, but I guess it's on just new save files only. So like I said, just be aware of that. Anywho, let's go pick up these silage bales and plop them into place. So they won't get taken away by the twister. Should have about 40 bales out here, so that's still going to be 2 trailer loads and about a half. So yeah, it took me about another 20 minutes to wrap up these bales. But it'll be worth it in about 3 months' time when I put it through the BGA and bring in the $70,000 or so for electricity and methane. And of course, getting the byproduct of the digestate to keep fertilizing our fields. Can't help myself. I still take this little shortcut down here. I probably should just... Well, I can't eliminate a tree because I don't own these trees. I would have to buy the forest, and I think the patch notes also said that they reduced the price, I think, of... you don't want to take those? Thank you. I think they said they reduced the price of village land. I don't think it's going to be the case for forest land. I wonder how much that land goes for now. I got to click on Where do I got to click on to actually get that? I always forget. Oh, nice if I actually go on land, farmland. If I click on that, it is 184,000 for that land now. But you get all of these little forest areas. That is a very good price for the amount. Wait, is that for all the trees? Hang on a second. Yeah, that would get you all those trees everywhere. I think it would have been better, but, you know, probably a little difficult to do, because only 184,000 for all the peripheries around the map and these little lots of trees everywhere. Yeah, well, if you want to do some sawmill stuff, yeah, that's the way to go. 184,000 for a lot of trees. Now, I don't know in the updated part, I don't think they said anything about swapping out the trees to be in more logger friendly. So it still may be the same type of trees that are here. But still, that's a lot of trees for only 184,000. You can make that money back in no time with a sawmill. Especially like the sawmill mod I use on fresh stocks. That sawmill zipped through the wood pretty quick. Oh wait, how did I not see these two bales down here? I don't know. Let's go pick them up. Then once we put these away, we'll get ourselves a worker to put the digestate down in this field. And we're going to see where the tornado appears. Hopefully not over our sorghum fields. But to me, it is part of the game. I know some people don't like hail and tornado damage. I'm going to leave mine on because I would like it to be part of the challenge. It may suck when it happens. But it's one of those things like, okay, we'll deal with it. We'll move on. And it's not like I really need the sorghum to feed the animals. We're just going to be bringing it down to the mill for flour anyways. You want to unstrap? There we go. Now let's go get the rest. Yeah, I'm still not sure about regular pallets. If a tornado goes over them, if they will disappear. If it does, it'll be interesting to find out. And it's not going to be the worst thing in the world because we are going to have a lot of money. But did I not activate that? We're going to have a lot of cash in goat cheese. So if I lose a couple of pallets, I'm okay with it. Why aren't you picking up said bales now? There we go. That was interesting. Yeah, so we just need to see if pallets get lost. I don't remember them saying that pre-Farming Simulator 25 when I was making those vids, but you know, that's been a while now. It's been almost a half year since I was making those YouTube shorts on the pre-release of Farming Simulator 25. All right. Bales collected. Let's go ahead and get one of the Franks to fertilize the field. Probably should have put that on course play. I used course play a little bit yesterday and today in my live streams on Riverview, and I'm starting to get the hang of course play once again and the way it kind of works in Farming Simulator 25. Kind of weird the way the autoloader works with the bales. When you deactivate it, you got to come to a full stop before it actually turns off, which is a little weird, but you know, it's the way it is. So someone did leave a comment, I think a couple episodes ago, saying if I were to return this trailer at this point, there's a good chance I'll probably come up for sale because I have leased it for so long, which is probably true. But at the same time, we're going to go ahead and keep it just for a little bit longer. I'm not paying that much in leasing fees anyways. Alright, so let's fast forward until the twister gets here. As for contracts, I don't think there's anything out there. Ooh, what was that for 12,000? A hoeing contract for 12,000. Well, if I had my own work to do, I'd be interested. Alright, let's slow down time to about ×5, I think. Let me check the sale page because I kind of forgot what's there. Yeah, a forage, a trailer for forage wagoning material, basically. And this is kind of a planter we don't need, and an auto-loading logging trailer, or a logging trailer in general, depends on how I want to use it. Not going to help me out too much here. I already got flight mode activated. So right off, not seeing anything right off next to us, which is good. So now I'll just have a peek around the edges. It may not have even spawned yet. I don't know about these people in the hot air balloon. They may want to run with a twister along the way. And so apparently we can bring the alfalfa up to the BGA. Let me just have a look while we're kind of waiting for this tornado to maybe spawn or not. So at the BGA, does it show? There we go, alfalfa hay. So if you want to bring alfalfa hay, it's got to be actually hay, not just well, no, you can bring regular alfalfa up as well. Why would you bring alfalfa hay up here? If I'm looking at this correctly. So, or maybe it's cycles per month? 24, 24. So the cycles per month are the same. The amount of hay or alfalfa you bring up is the same. But by bringing up hay, you get less electricity, less methane, and less digestate. So putting all that work into turning alfalfa into alfalfa hay and bringing it to the BGA, you get a lot less for it. So don't do that. Just bring alfalfa up as it is. So I think the only twister we've had so far on Pallegney, I think it was up here somewhere. But since the map updated and brought all the trees back to their former glory, we're not going to see the twister damage. But I think it was up here maybe a year or 2 years ago in the game. Alright, so currently, yeah, no twister showing up. How long is the twister in the forecast for, you may ask? That's a good question. Somewhere by 4 o'clock it'll be gone. So let me fast forward until 1 o'clock and we'll see if it appears. Nope, there it is. So it's not near our farm currently, but it's up in the village, which, you know, in real life would not be good, but for now, there it is. Can't really tell which way it's going as of yet. And it looks like it's headed away from the center of the map. So it's kind of going towards the BGA and up the hill. So don't have to worry about our farm at all. We don't own anything up here. But whoever owns that canola field is probably going to be a little bit upset because July is the month to harvest canola, not June. So their crops are going to get damaged a bit. Let me go ahead and fast forward time a little bit more. Right almost through the center of that field. And what's in this field here? This was sugar beet. And there goes the twister. Twister be gone. So we got a little tree damage in town. And of course, these two farmers lost a little bit of their crop. Well, this one lost quite a bit amount of crop. This one lost about maybe 20% of their field. So I looked out again. All right, so we're going to let that AgroStar keep putting down the digestate, which we can see where they've been. I'll probably have to do this little bit down here, which is not that big of a deal. All right, so yeah, do I want to do, like I said, there's a pretty good contract there for $12,000, but that would take a while. I think if I had multiple contracts to do, I would not mind. There is some plowing contracts there, but I think I just want to move on to the next month, to July, and we'll see what happens. Let me drop down out of the sky, as one does. And we'll fast forward time. That's interesting. I can't move the time scale past 360 today. Yesterday, when I recorded the last episode, I was able to go up to multiple times. I must have hit a certain button or something of that nature. Well, a few things have happened in just a few moments' time. I decided to do the hoeing contract up in field, what number is it? 29, is it? Because I had to wait for this fertilizing to get done in this grass field over here. And I always need to do that end piece down at the bottom. And if I waited another month, of course, the grass would have grown, and it'd be a little bit harder for me to see where the worker has or has not been. So, yeah, I said, well, you know what? We'll get the hoeing contract going up there, which is being done by Course Play. And I am, of course, finishing off the fertilizing here. The worker, the AI worker that was working this field, pretty much almost ended up in the river. Right over here by the bridge. It got hung up on the tree driving forward. Not sure where the worker was going. It hasn't done it, got stuck there before. But I have the kind of same issue on Riverview as well. In one of my grass fields, like every once in a while, the AI worker does the field no problem, spreading digestate, and other times it decides to try to jump a hedge. So I have no idea why the AI worker would change up the way they do things. You'd think he'll do it the same way every time. The field has not changed. Don't know. But there we go. Our grass field is good to go, which, again, this won't need to be cut until, let's see, July, August, September. Now, got to go every 3 months to get the full yield off the field. You can still cut it every 2 months if you want, but you're not going to get the best yield out of the grass. Now, I haven't done the math on it. I haven't done any testing in FS25 to see if you cut it every 2 months and compare it to every 3 months out of a year. Do you get more grass? Which way you get more grass out of it? I don't know. But I think in 22, if you still cut it every 2 years, you got slightly more grass than if you cut it every 3 months. But to me, the way I look at it is, that's an extra cut per year, and I already do enough grass work as it is. I guess it all depends on how you view grass work. And, yeah, if you want to get just a little bit extra more for doing a little bit more work, then you can cut it still every 2 months if you want to. I'm going to say it's probably the same in 25, but, again, that's just speculating. That's the same if it's the same as it was in 22. And, again, I have no idea if it is or isn't. All right, we'll drop that off there. And yep, the AgroStar can go right here. I want to double check on the goats because I kind of forgot. Are all my goats now fully mature? Or is it one more month before the last 37 or 39? I may have another 39 goats that are, is it 29? What is it here? 33 more goats, I guess. Oh, no, we got... Wait, I got newborns? Wait a minute, how did this get up to 212? So anyways, this was 179, but now it's 212? Either way... So all the goats I did have were fully mature. But now I got 33 young goats running around. So now that's going to mean more feed. I didn't change anything, so It's the same pasture as before, but now we got more goats, which means more milk. Well, which will mean more milk, and also which means more cheese. So I think we just got like 33 more goats. I think that's what it said. After last episode, I was talking about reducing the amount of goats that we have. Now we got 39 more, whatever it is. We got more. And that's quite a bit, actually. Quite a bit more. Not sure why that would have changed, but like I said, there it is. Oh, man. Yeah, I think probably the dairy in a little while is probably going to have to go. And I'm not sure I know what to do with the goats as of yet at this point, because it does seem like we're starting to get more than what we need. What is the price difference between... Well, it's going to be hard to tell, isn't it? Because the way the cheese is. But if I were to look here and just go down to goats cheese, which sells for, we'll just say 2,000, and milk sells for 3,000. $3,000 for goat's milk? What is the conversion? All right, something seems awfully wrong here all of a sudden. Did my economy get changed? No, economy is on hard. Why does that say goat's milk sells for 3,000? Something weird is going on with the goats. So, ooh. Oh wait, wait, I might be thinking backwards. That might be the correct, what's the conversion again for goat's cheese? I don't remember goat's milk being that much. Although I don't think I've ever sold goat's milk straight up, so I probably never looked at the price of goat's milk since the first time I looked at it way back on River Bend in the early days. So way back in November. Did not know goat's milk went for that much. Well, I thought it was going to be still a lot cheaper. Shows you what I don't know, which is a lot. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get this contract done for hoeing. It's going to pay us $12,000, which is not too bad. But yeah, I got to figure out now exactly when I need to get rid of the dairy and maybe, even get rid of the goats, because that's just going to bring in a lot of milk, and I'll still be breaking the bank on that. Had to turn the lights on. It's starting to get a little dark out. And as we know in Farming Simulator 25, when the sun goes down, the sun goes down. It'll just get dark at the snap of a finger. But I think I'll get this done in time. I mean, we're at 95%, so I don't need that much further to go. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder, though, I mean, how many more contracts do I need to do, really? I think financially I mean, it feels like we're looking okay. But the second something comes up for sale in the store and I don't have the money for it, I'll be like, yeah, should have kept doing contracts. Until we have ourselves a harvester, which is the big spending point. I mean, a direct seed drill or planter. I mean, they are expensive buying brand new, but of course, if I can only buy from the used section, you know, usually about half off, give or take. They're not that expensive at that point. And really, the land here as well is not that expensive. As far as I'm concerned, it's relatively reasonable. And there we go. Contract is complete. Let's go ahead and collect on that. Yep, 12,905. So almost 13 grand, which gets us up to 170,000 in the bank account. I took over for the worker. Why pay a worker when I can do it myself? It's not like I had anything else to do. I'm all caught up on the farm and what the farm needs. And what the farm needs is for me to sleep to the night and get to July, and we'll see what's happening. And who knows, we may just zip right on through July, get to August, and get to harvesting some sorghum. And get that on down to the grain mill to start making some flour. Just be careful of the traffic. All the lights are turning on in the city. Watch out for that tree. Yeah, don't go over bumps too fast, because when the tires lift off the ground, well, things don't steer too well when the tires are not on the ground. Alright, the hoe, I think I'll just put the hoe over here for now. I mean, yeah, I could use another shed. But I mean, I got room for everything, but I'm just starting to, you know, stack things in a little bit. All right, let's check the sales page. And, oh, there's nothing in the sales page. So, ignore the sales page. Let's see what July has to offer. Couldn't tell if that was rain or hail. And what do we got in the sales this morning? Well, still nothing in the sale page. So let's go grab the goat's milk and bring that down. There's our sorghum. Yeah, we'll use the AgroStar. This could probably use a little bit of fuel. Not really in dire need of it. Let's go see how much milk we do have. Should be like 5? Yeah, still 5 pallets. Can I go forward? Yeah, I've been talking about putting a road in there. But then I'm hesitating now because I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing going forward with the goats. Actually, might as well keep that attached. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to do any contracts today. Nope. So for now, we're going to skip. Oh, I see how you can do that. Press and hold to extend it. Gotcha. Now I know how to activate that. Let me just check the contract page now. Probably just plowing is all I really want to be doing. But let's check the sales page. A Case Puma. That would be nice to have on the farm. What's the horsepower of that currently? 224. You could always extend that up to what? 260, 271, 302, 302. No, I think we'll wait it on out. And now, was that a spinach harvester? Yes. Definitely don't want that. And yeah, I don't think I want to be doing any contracts today. Oh. Ooh, a header. A flex header. Is that the one I can convert? Transport wheels, yes. Now this can fit most combines. Now you notice how I said most. 81,000. $81,000. I think I'm going to chance it and sleep through the night and see what's there in the morning. See if the header is still there. The animals, they don't need nothing. They should be fine. Boy, they are going through that meadow grass pretty darn quick. You know what? I think we're going to sell some goats. Because 212 goats now is just, I thought 179 was like, at the beginning, I'm like, that's pretty cool. 212, that is getting to be a lot. And yeah, let's go ahead and sell, I guess, the older ones. Reproduction's at 80%. They're at 40%. They're at 80%. We'll sell these. And get 47,000 for them. So yeah, that'll mean less milk, less feed needing. And since I just spent 47,000 or earned 47,000 selling goats, I think we'll get ourselves some transport wheels on a MacDon header. Can I change the design? Is this the modded one or not the modded one? I don't think that's the modded version, is it? No. So if you wonder what I'm talking about, I do have a MacDon pack modded version, which would be these right here. And the drawbar on those is longer, so it doesn't hit the back of the combine. I think beggars can't be choosers, so for 84,000, I'll get myself a header. Design color, I'll leave as is because I have no idea what combine I'll be getting in the future. I have no idea. But at least we'll have a header. We're making headway. Haha. Pun intended. A bad pun, but yeah, there it is. So we're down to 131. Now, you might be saying, well, Peanut, what happens if a harvester comes up for sale and you spent that money? Currently, we do, if I were to sell the cheese, I got $98,000 worth of goat cheese currently. So I can get myself another $100,000 right away. And that gives me up to 230, which could almost buy me most of the combines. Not the more expensive ones, but most of the combines. All right, and then the sale page, and all right, so no combine there. And our sorghum is ready for harvest. So now I can lease a combine that kind of fits our header. And we can get the job done rather quickly. So, let's see, how much goat cheese or goat's milk do I end up with this morning? Not that much less. But I did not sell those goats until kind of late last night, so they were producing milk all throughout the day. Now, I did mention it before, but I think I was saying something to the fact of maybe by the end of this year, we'll have to get rid of the dairy and the goats. And yeah, maybe when we sell the goats cheese in September/October, that is when we'll have to probably get rid of the dairy and maybe get rid of the goats altogether, even the pen, and maybe turn that field into something else. All right, so now a harvester for leasing. I mean, I don't really need anything big, but on Riverview, I used this harvester with a 13-meter wide header, and it kind of struggled a little bit, but this is going to be on mostly flat ground. Maybe I'll go with the case. Yeah, we'll go with the case just because. Can I put tracks on there? No, I cannot. What is the leasing fee for that? Ouch. 16,000. What was the leasing fee of this combine? 13,000. That's got 306 horsepower. 258. You know what, let's just go with the case and we'll lease that one. Now I'm going to need a grain trailer. And I think I said this one right here, right? 19. Configuration, extension. Yeah, that's all fine if I lease that. 2,600, that's fine. So, yeah, 19,000 for leasing equipment, but it's where we're at. And I think we'll get that much back on flour. But then again, and I don't have that problem spending that much money because of goat cheese again. Yeah, we're just making a lot on that eventually. And these fields are bigger than they look. A case harvester. Have I used one yet in this FS25? I'm not sure I have. I can't remember if I leased one or not. So the header is ours, not the combine. That's a big header. But it's kind of a universal header, so it should fit most combines. It's just a horsepower requirement to run it is what's going to be the question on the smaller ones. This is a busy road, so I need to get attached to this as soon as I can before I get cars starting to pile up and wanting to pass me. Fold up the header, unfold the combine. And then also I want to bring that in. Isn't there a way to raise and lower? I thought there was a way to... Oh, that's doing the auger in the back. Ah, okay, so it's the same. It's a left click. Same as to... Alright, I got it now. I think I got it. So, being sorghum, no straw. And the good news is, from looking at it, looks like we got plenty of horsepower to run the header. So, harvesting our own crop, as we did last season. Last year we had oats in this field. Of course, we got straw, which went into the BGA. That gave us a little bit of a bonus income, which was nice. Boy, the header is in bad shape, I think. I better, when I get down to the other end, I do have the toolbox up by the shed. We'll have to fix that, our header. Because repair status, I was looking at it, it's like right in the middle. I'm like, that's weird. I was like, oh no, wait, you bought the header and you leased the combine. So the combine should be in tip-top shape. It's your header that's got to be in really bad shape. And that could be hurting our yield a bit. So we'll fix the header, which we will have to pay for because that was fixed in patch 1.7. Yeah, since both of our fields are rather flat, so we know this is what, 305 horsepower on this combine. I'm thinking like the Fendt or the Massey Ferguson combine, which is one a little bit cheaper than this. If that comes up for sale, that might be able to run this header fine. So one less item I have to lease. So right now I do have 3 leased items. I got the harvester, I got the trailer for the grain, and I got the trailer for the auto loading. Now the good thing about the header, which is why I really like it, is it converts over to its own trailer. So I don't need a transporting trailer for a header. So it's not like I bought a header and it's like, well, need to get it around the map. How do I do so? Well, you got to lease a trailer for it. So this header is all in one. The one thing that could be an issue in the future, which I always forget about, is the auger. So it looks like the header is almost like the right working width, or max working width you want for this harvester, because the auger kind of sticks out that far. Yeah, the goats are just munching through that meadow grass very fast. And I do got spare grass bales just in case, which is a good thing. I may have to sell more goats to keep up. Unloading speed seems a little on the slow side, but time-wise, it's not too bad. Alright, nope. Kind of forgot which way I had the toolbox, but it should be fine right there. And the header repair for 4636. Repaint, no thank you. I think I may have gotten the horsepower wrong. I think the price of the harvester was 305. Don't know what the horsepower is. $301,000. horsepower is 449. Okay. Oh, and that is a big jump up from 306 on the Fendt and Massey Ferguson. Well, maybe we'll get lucky after we return this after harvesting the 2 fields this year. Maybe we'll get lucky in the case I come up for sale. It's an extremely big combine for what we have now, but of course, the plan is to buy more fields. So, you know, we're only to get more fields, more land. So this size harvester will seem, as we start, as a good starting harvester. It's good to see that it can run. This was the 15-meter wide header, which is a pretty darn big header. The only thing that I hemmed on about at first was it was probably too much on the big side for what I wanted, but I think it'll work out. It better now because now you own it. Yeah, I could always sell it if need be, but I don't think we're going to need to. I think we've only seen one harvester in the sales in this is our 5th year here. And it was like in year 1, the first full year that we were here, that a harvester came up. And I think it was the big case combine, the AG11, I think is the model number. It's got unloaded into the trailer. I figured when leasing the trailer, I figured just go big. That way maybe I can make one trip down to the grain mill. Don't think it really matters too much if I lease a too big of a trailer, which this kind of was. Because, I mean, it was only like $2,000 to lease it. Rather than going for 1/2 the size and still paying $1,000 to lease it. But it's already roughly 20,000 liters of sorghum that we've harvested. At least the header is ours. And now that's fully repaired. It's all looking good. But I think that's where we're going to wrap it up for today. I know I'm right in the middle of a harvest, but I'd like to finish up the entire harvest in next episode and bring that to the grain mill and get that going. And I think, yeah, contract-wise, I think I might be done doing contracts. I don't know. The financial situation on this map has got me all confused with the amount of goat cheese that we're going to be getting and when to sell it and move on. But I keep thinking, well, if I do that, I want to do contracts. I mean, kind of skip through the months a little bit faster and just maybe grow the farm a little bit more. I know a few people are not, you know, they're tired of seeing the grass work, which I understand, but it's what I got to do in order to make money on the farm. And of course, we need the grass field for our goats that I still got to figure out how and when I get rid of them completely or what I do with them. But yeah, next time we'll be finishing up the harvest on both fields and get the flour making going. And hopefully we can get a little bit more. I mean, getting a header in the sale was pretty lucky. Another tractor, I don't think I really need another tractor right off. If I had a harvester in our farm already, And the only thing I was waiting for was another planter or drill. I would probably buy this tractor right now, but I think as of right now, this is good. But anyways, that's what I'm going to wrap it up for today. If you want to help me out a little bit more, you can hit that thumbs up button. Does more than you know. Thumbs down buttons there as well. You can hit that if you'd like to. Leave me a comment as to why, but no one ever does that. And yeah, if you're new here, and I hope you've already done this, you might want to think about hitting that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on more content like this. Yep, that's what I'm going to wrap it up for today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Pallegney. But until then, have a good one.